What up, FLOPACK? What up, new subscribers? First video of the part, or the build. Really disappointed right now. So I was cleaning up this chassis and Alien came down and it literally fell on top of this thing. An Alien, guys. I think it had something to do with this administration. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. See that? My dog did it. No, I did it. There's another one too. I dropped the motor mount on it and with the motors on it and it scratched it. But you know what? It's my chassis. I don't care. I was hoping it was the bottom, but it's not. Bottom's flawless. The top's the one with scratches. But it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. My chassis. Your guys' will have a plastic cover anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. If I would have left it on, I wouldn't have had to worry about it either. But look at that thing. Huge chassis, guys. So I went ahead and just built out the front end. The reason I did this is there's nothing on here that I need to show you guys right now what I'm going to do. The diffs are in there, super smooth with these diff cases, super smooth. The steering bell crank, super smooth. And I'll show you guys once it's all built out. We'll go ahead and get these all dialed in, get it right for you guys. That way, if you want to copy. If not, no problem. So the front diff, 100% locked. If you want to lock it like I do, use this. They sell it at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, everywhere. It's ear putty. So if you go swimming, you put this stuff in your ear, and it's just a wax. It's just a soft wax that you can mold around. But it locks the front diff without having to go buy a diff locker and all that. So I always lock the front diff with these swimming ear putty thing for people that have sensitive ears or something. Big shout out to Lightning Dad for that. He's the one who put me on that, and it works flawless. So, like I said, front diff is locked. Rear diff is going to be different. Front diff is locked. I don't put any bind on this. As you can see, they're really loose right now. See that? We'll tighten those up and get it set up right once we get going. So like I said, there's nothing really to see. This thing was easy as pie. Just take out the other one and copy exactly how you do the new one. Came out very nice though. Very clean, as you could see. Was going to polish this, but I just don't have the time. So right now it's Wednesday. I want this thing on the road by Saturday. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build it out with you guys, and we're going to go ahead and throw it out on the street with no practicing, no nothing. Just set it and forget it. So the front's done. We'll work on the back right now. And while I'm waiting for my roto lock, I'm using this PPS motor mount. So we'll just use this one until the roto lock comes. And then when I say brass knuckles, people are asking about these brass knuckles. I really appreciate all the new subscribers, really do. Stay with me. So I'll show you guys exactly to a T. What I'm going to do is, carbon fiber is kind of like a dry erase board. You can write on it and then just take some WD-40 or contact cleaner or something like that and wipe it right off. So every time I run, I'm going to show the gearing. For instance, I'm going to run 32. Yep, 32 if you guys can see that. 32 pinion gears and a 33 spur gear. I went back in my book. I write down every gearing, everything I do. Went back in my book, and that was the 185 mile per hour pass. So we'll go from there. And I don't use, me personally, I don't use the RC calculator app and stuff like that. I've never found them to be close to what they are. You can put this gearing in with that KV, which is a 2200 CM for right now. First time running it, I am going to take it a little easy. I'm not going to put the 4090s in there yet. These are 4070s, 2200 CMs, and my favorite motor by far. I was hitting great numbers on this motor when everybody said this motor is an amp hog. It don't work very good. You just got to know how to use it. You got to use RPM instead of torque with this motor. RPM meaning maybe I might go down a pinion or a tooth, but you want to get as much RPM out as you can. You don't want to just put a huge pinion, a 34, 35 tooth pinion on there, because it'll never go down like it's supposed to. It'll overheat, it'll pull too many amps. But I got the rear taken apart. I started to do one side right here. It's kind of a pain because all these stupid shims in here. I hate those things. I was kind of looking around my shop to see if I had anything better than that, but I don't. Not right now. What I use to grease the diffs, guys, Kyosho drive joint grease or ball diff grease. There's a difference here. Ball diff grease is clear. It's clear, won't leave a mess, works really good. And I'll show you guys a secret after I'm done. The drive joint grease is black. Nasty. Don't get it on nothing. My absolute favorite is Team Associated Green Slime. As you can see, I'm almost out, so I'm going to use that. Also use this, the black. It's identical to the drive grease of this, from what I've found. But we'll get to that once we do this diff. Like I said, it's going to be different. I went ahead and changed the bearings already on this. That's just boring stuff you guys don't want to watch anyways, but I always write the date, so I know when's the last time. And I wrote it in my little book. I have an RC speed book. I call it the Speed Bible. And I put them all in there. So these bearings have already been soaking. I pulled these ones out to kind of let them sit there for a few minutes while we do this. And we'll jump into putting these hubs in. They're very nice, guys, by the way. Very nice. The tolerances are tight. You put the bearing in there, it's tight. It's not falling out. Oops. So, pretty good. We'll put these together real quick and throw the dog bones. I am running the hobao 5mm dog bones. You get them from Saga Custom RC. Part number 0P0161 5mm dog bones. We have the 5.3mm front drive shafts. Saga Custom RC also has those. And if you have a hobao and you're not running these gears, you need to get these gears. A 40-tooth crown and a 15-tooth pinion. So if you're not running these, you're losing mile per hour big time. I know there was people, believe it or not, that are faster than me right now that didn't even know that. And they were still running the stock gears. It wasn't until Javoria told them, and now they're fast. But hopefully we'll be able to catch them. It's been a minute. I've never really done a real dual motor car, so we'll see what it does, guys. Let's check this out. All right, let me get in here. I had to move the camera so I can fit in the screen. All right, so we got our diffs here. We're going to take our diff gear here, or our 15-tooth gear, put it in there. What I always like to do, make sure it's nice and clean. On the top of my bottle, I put some red Loctite and some blue Loctite, and we're going to be using both those, guys. Grab the cup here. This is all off my original one. So, red Loctite for anything like this. Just going to get it started. Now I'm going to push from the inside with my thumb, and from the outside, find the flat spot. I'm going to tighten it. I am using MIP tools. It's the only tools I've found that I like. I used to go with like cheap stuff with dynamite, which this is fine because it's a giant hex. It's not going to strip very easily, but all right, that's in there nice and good, tight. It's not going to go anywhere because of red Loctite, and I cinched it down. Let me get another rag here. Let's clean it all off. Get that red Loctite off there. Just don't want it spinning off everywhere, but really good. So we'll take our 40-tooth gear, put this in here. What I like to do is I'll take the old diff. Let me grab it real quick just to make sure I'm putting it in right. I hope this is it, not the front, but you can kind of see the lines in there. Maybe you can't in the camera, but see the lines? This is where the diff gear was riding. On both diffs, the diff was on the right-hand side, the crown gear, which is this gear. So you just want to copy that. Here's this. It was sitting on the right-hand side, done. As you can see, the diffs are moving good due to the flow juice. Those bearings, it changes everything. But as you can see the line, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but it's in there with the grease. Kind of shoots the grease up so you can tell which way it sits. Take this. Actually, you know what, guys? Totally forgot a step. Let me get this stuff out of here. This is a 1 millimeter shim, 13 by 16 by 1 millimeter shim. I'm going to put it on the crown gear side. All right. Then I'm going to squeeze it into there, and all that's going to do, push it on one side, squeeze it in. Now it's going to be a little bit tighter in there, and it shouldn't change much. Still have really good. So let's roll with that. For right now, I'm just going to stick one screw in there just to hold it in place. There we go. Just so we don't lose anything. But you know what? As you can see, everything's moving smooth. These diffs are actually buttery smooth. So they're tight. Can't wobble it at all. That's good. So this will be nice. Let's go to installing this bad boy. So you have these pieces here. They can only go one way, obviously. See how on the back here, there's that line in the holes. If you try to put it upside down, it won't work. Try to put it upside down that way, it won't work. It only works one way. So 0 degree is what it shows. You guys see that? 0 degree, 0 degree. We're going to stick these back on, but actually Power Hobby gives you these pieces here, these screws, but we're going to screw this on first on this side. See how I did that? It's wrong. You know why? Because it's going to end up hitting that cup when it goes around. See? So make sure it's always down. I'm sure you guys all know this stuff, you know, but just going over little things that could happen that you go, what the hell? Why isn't it working? So nice and tight now. It's on there. I should have actually put some, you know what? I'm going to. So stuff like this that don't move, it's stationary, we'll just throw some blue Loctite on there. Throw it on a cup like that, or something plastic where it lights off, and send it home. Now the blue Loctite will hold it in place. Stuff like this I can heat up if I need to get it off. I can put the torch on it and get it off. This is going to be a little more harder, especially if it's on a plastic diff. Hopefully you guys go get this diff because it's really nice. So shocks go to the outside. This goes on the inside. We're running our FLOPACK carbon fiber rear shock towers. And we'll send this one home. Let's see. I think it needs a 12 millimeter. Nope. A 12 millimeter long screw here on the top. See, I'm messing up already. Just a little dip of blue Loctite in there. Another little dip of blue Loctite in there. Don't need a ton, just enough to lock it in place because stuff will wobble loose. But usually you want to do that on metal to metal items. You don't have to do it on carbon fiber to metal. I don't know why it's not going in there. I have to check this out real quick, see what's going on. Maybe it only lets it go, so I might have to use these skinnier screws that they think, the not so long screws. The stock ones, you can use these ones here, but let's see, is everything lined up right? Damn it. So, yeah, it's lined up. So maybe that's what these littler screws are for. Little blue Loctite on there, guys. We'll throw this thing together. Or it's just the threads aren't good on this thing. I'm going to go to the handy dandy handheld one. It's magnetized, so it works a little better anyways. A little dot of blue Loctite. So yeah, it's just the threads. The threads like haven't been cleaned out or something. Might want to take a screw and run them through there first. That's kind of, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. They should be cleaned out. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to end up stripping their threads in there. Get a different screw now. I don't know if that one's been chewed up or what. But, I mean, it lines up. So, let's see. Take this one here, put it through all the way to the end. So that much should be able to go inside. But it's just the threads on these things. Something's not right with it. I'll just get it started slowly with this thing and then I'll grab it with that's all she's gonna go. Yeah, I'm having to tighten real hard with this. I don't like that at all. Alright. They're sealed away, but yeah, that's I don't like that. I don't think that's good. So we'll put the bottom screws in now. And hopefully these ones get going there. We'll see. It's weird because the front ones I had zero issues. Hold on. That thing's dead. Let me put a new one. These things, Costco, lifesaver. Turn up the max torque. I think the threads are just dirty. Uh-oh. That's one thing I don't like about those speed tips, guys. The ball end. I don't like those. I like the straight diamond end. I don't like those ball ends because they strip way too easy. Make sure that's tight on there. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. So we'll take the hinge pins. And we'll just shove those through there real quick. It's weird. It's bothering me because I know the front ones were buttery smooth. They went together no issues. I didn't have to pull out the other tools at all. So that's kind of disheartening, guys. So what did I do wrong here? Not a damn thing. So we're gonna stick some bearings in here. Use the Power Hobbies. These 3 bearings right here are ceramic. I was gonna use those on my spool, which I did end up using. See how tight that is? That's nice. Oh, yeah, that's a little too tight, I think. Yeesh. Let's see. Right tool for the job, guys. I don't know why this thing's not coming out now. Jeez, this is not good. This is not looking good. Tell you what, I'll get the big guns out. There we go. Right tool for the job. I wonder if these tolerances are different. Well, they feel perfectly smooth from the ceramics, but let's try a different bearing, or maybe I didn't go in completely straight. Aha! That's tight though. That's what you want. You don't want them moving around or being sloppy, aren't you? Let's see here. These are going to go in like this. That's what holds the dog bone. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I got a picture right there. That's going to hold in the dog bone. I don't know. Something don't feel right here. That one's not in. Oh, that's why. Alright, that's better. Way better. We'll take our 5mm dog bone. Throw it in there. And I always like using the first hole. I was going to say a dirty joke, but I'm not going to do that, okay? Let's see here. There we go. Get the right bolt. Screw. Let's see after we put this on how tight it still is. I hate stuff like this that's loose, but should be able to crank on it pretty good. All right, oh, not loose now. Hitting on that right there because it's not in place yet. It should be down like this, but it's hitting on it. So let's start on the other side real quick. I'm gonna tear this down. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So wanted to show you guys, for some of you that may not be savvy with this, inside each one of these pins to take off the wheel. I know everybody's got to know this, but if you don't, just grab 2.5 milli and release the set screw in there. Release the set screw, sorry. And since I'm releasing the set screw, taking it out because I'm going to have to red Loctite it now. Use a cheap hoodie. Man, I hated those hoodie tools. Some people liked them, but I couldn't stand them for some reason. And now you take that pin out of there. This thing's ready to go. We'll set that off to the side. Take this screw out. And I like to leave everything next to each other, guys. As you can see, all those little stupid pieces that fell out right there, those are a pain to get back in. So here's the old one. Let's grab the new one. I think I'm going to set the bearings first in it. Well, see, that was weird. That one went in a little too easy. I wonder if these bearings are just... Well, that one went in good. Nope, sure didn't. That's really weird. I'm going to grab some of these other ones real quick out of the juice and just see how they do. If it's just a bearing, a cheap bearing, yep, that one's tight. Try this one. So, you know, I've liked everything I've gotten from Power Hobby. But they sell everything. And honestly, I've never went to a place like A-Main and bought bearing. You always go to, you know, Boca or Fast Eddie's or whatever, you know. They look clean though. Those aluminum hubs. So when you're looking at a car from the front, the left is the left and the right is the right. Not from the rear, from the front. So we're going to stick this back in here, but what we're going to do is grab all these stupid shims, and I like to get the screw started, just minimal enough to fit the hub in there. Pull it out just a little more. Pull out game strong. All right, and we're going to shove that through there. Take it. All right, maybe a little too far. So I would rather my hubs, the way they have these spacers is like 2 right here and 3 right here, but I would rather have my hubs as far back as possible. Give me a longer wheelbase, even if it is 8mm or 5mm or whatever. And then I found with this, let me try to get this on real quick, guys. So I almost have them on. Come on. There we go. As you can see, a little bit of play, right? I left one out because I did that on the other side as well. As you can see, there's 2 total. And I'll show you why. So when you go to crank down on this, it'll suck it in, and you won't have to fight that other one. Because that other one trying to get it on is a pain in the ass. Trying to slip it in there. I was sitting there for 10 minutes. I said, nope. So I was going to start using shims, and I said, well, let me see what happens here. Let's see what happens here, and it worked. So just tighten it down. Nice little crank down, and guess what? They hardly move. There's no wiggle room. So you want it like that. You know why? This is your rear. This is the area you want the stiffest. Me personally, I've always had the front pretty loose and the back very stiff. That's just the way I've done it. I'm setting this thing up how I set up my cars, guys. I've never once ran a gyro, and I'm gonna take a shot at Raz real quick. House of Pros shouldn't run gyros. I'm giving you guys a hard time. If you want to run a gyro, run a gyro. Whatever you like. If you feel that it makes you more confident, makes you want to go out and make more runs, do what you got to do. I don't care. I'm not gonna hate on you because you run a gyro. But the House of Pros should not run gyros. And I'm hitting Raz hard right now, huh? So, like I said, if you run one, fine. I've never ran one just because, I tell you the truth, guys, I don't even know how to run a gyro. I would be lost if you gave me a gyro and told me to set it up. I've seen them. I used to run when I was doing drag racing. I got one given to me, and I ran it, and I didn't know what all the dip switches were on them, and I was just lost, man. Luckily, the guy Polo at the time kind of helped me out and said, hey, this is what you do, this is how this is done, and he showed me the ropes, but I didn't even know how to use it, and it's been so long, I don't even know. I'm sure technology's changed with them. I wouldn't even know where to start, guys. So that's not how I learned, so it's hard, you know, where they say how to teach an old dog new tricks. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. But I do like giving Raz a hard time about it. It's funny. Back in the day, he used to say, technology, bro. It's technology. Why would you turn down technology? And just to mess with him, I'd be like, because, bro, I'm a better driver than that. I don't care what you guys run. You want to run a gyro? Run a gyro. So, right here, I started to slap this on, right? I don't know if you guys seen what I just did. So I slapped this together. And then look, you're not getting that out. You know why? Because it's already squeezed in as far as it'll go. So what I do is, I usually take an O-ring. And I know I had some somewhere. That's one of them things I was telling you about yesterday. You have them, and then they're on. Oh, there they are. 2 black O-rings right there. Up, last one. Man, this is what happens when you do this after a 16-hour day. It really gets rough. 16 hours of work, come home. But I love it, man. I know a lot of you guys are passionate about it too. I just, man, I love it. So, I think the reason Power Hobby gives you these shorter ones, see the difference? That's the ones they give you that are full thread. These aren't full thread. I think that maybe these ones, they're not threaded all the way through. So we're just going to use the Power Hobby ones. We'll put these off to the side. And after this build's done, I'll show you guys something pretty cool. So all the parts that we use. And I'm missing one now. See what I mean? It's crazy. I had everything laid out. I don't understand what's going on right now. Oh, I'm missing a screw already. What the hell? I might just have to throw these ones in there. I had everything laid out, guys. 1 second. Would you believe it if I found it underneath this chassis and I put another scratch in it? Well, it did. It's my chassis, though. So, and honestly, you know how much more ruined it's going to get out there speed running, guys? They only stay nice for a run or two, and that's it. Same with your bodies. That's why I don't buy $500 bodies or $250 bodies, because I know how quick bodies get ruined. Man, that's butter. Look at that. That's butter, guys. Nice. So, what else do we have to do? We're going to put these back on, right? We're going to slip that in right there. We're going to slip that pin in there. Yeah, there you go. Give it the old hawk taw. And then we'll see. So you want these flush, these pins flush. You don't want them sticking out because then they're going to chew into your tire. But not a lot of slop, guys. I'm okay with that. It's still on there. Gotta get some red Loctite. Gonna put a nice dot on there. I'm gonna get it started. Once it's started, we'll take our wheel. I used to use like pliers and stuff because I don't have time to go grab a wheel, but I always have one laying around. So let's see. I heard knocking on the door, so I went out there. Hey, who's knocking on the door? I didn't see anybody except for my little bulldog. I have a little English bulldog. She's sitting there scratching her ear, and it sounds like this. I thought someone was knocking on the door. I was like, that's weird, because usually like my kids will come around banging on the door. Or if it's the wife saying, hey, you better go do my laundry, you know? Like, damn. Just joking. I don't do laundry. I'm a man. I go to work every day. I work. Hey, if you're an at-home daddy, that's cool. Do you, boo? I couldn't do it, to tell you the truth. Look at that. Smooth as butter. That looks good, right? The carbon fiber with the gold actually looks really nice. So, came with these pieces here. What are these for? They go on here. So that way if you want to use your sway bar. Trash. I've never used them in speed runs. They're for turns. We're not going to be turning, so we don't need that. So we're not going to use that piece. See how stiff the rear is? 90 weight in the rear. Also, I changed the valve around to a single pass. What that means is, I don't want to have to pull all that stuff out. So let me show you real quick. So people that don't know, inside there's a circle. It's got a big hole in the middle, and that's where the screw comes through, okay? They sell quad, they sell 3, they sell 2, and they sell 1. What that's going to do is, with the 1, it's going to limit how fast the oil goes down and back up. See that? I have a working shock. It's not totally locked. It actually works. But it's going to limit how fast. Now, if you have 4 of them, the oil's going to go through it faster. They also make 4 with bigger. I remember guys cutting holes in them back in my race days. Bigger holes. So the shock's up and down. That's for racing. We don't want that. We want a slow recovery. So we want the single hole. I'll get you guys a part number for that if you're interested. And that way you can have actually working shocks instead of just locking them. See that? The recovery rate. So what's going to happen is 150 miles per hour, 170 miles per hour, it's going to start sinking down. And then it'll start easing up once you stop. No problems. Be easy, easy. So our drag chassis, I got really cool stuff coming for that. Where the splitter won't be done on this one yet. And actually I'm going to have to use an old top brace, which is fine. It's made for a single XLX2. Went with our other kit, or you can just buy the top brace separate. And yes, it does fit in there. There's no jamming it in like others. So yeah, that's our top brace, but we have another one coming in. We have a really cool splitter, something that no one's ever done before with a splitter. I think it's pretty awesome. So, okay, well, I think we got another thing we got to do actually. We have to put the rear body mounts on. Man, those are gorgeous. I love that silver. What we're going to do with this is I'm going to run a screw through first. Make sure the threads are good. Yep, that one's good. Go to the bottom hole. I don't want to be stripping everything out. So I run one on the outside. Some people run them on the inside. I run them on the outside. Why do I do that? Because I want them as far back on the body as I can. Everything I want stretched as far as I can. So that's why I do that. I know it might be better to have them on the inside. Ah. Maybe I did have them on the inside. I don't know. No, I sure didn't. I knew better. So, we got one screw in there. Stick another one in there. Eesh. Bam. Let's see. Go to the other side real quick. Lock it in nice. And I'm not using a thread locker on this. I don't feel you need to. There's not like I've never had any come undone this. Then again, I've never used aluminum ones, but I feel like if you tighten them down enough, they'll be just fine. Just fine. There's that ball end, man, always getting stuck. Now look. Pretty clean, huh? Came out good. Oh, stock springs. Look at that. So let me show you guys my little trick with the diffs real quick. I'm gonna use the no. I don't want to make a mess. I'm gonna use the ball diff grease. You can get this anywhere. So let me get down here, get my handy dandy popsicle sticks. Oops. I'm just gonna put a little on there, give it a spin, put a little on there, give it a spin, put a little on there, put a little on there. Then I'm gonna run it around a little bit, get it spinning around. So I'm gonna put my finger on the center part, and what that's gonna do is push it either this way or that way onto the gear. And I don't want a bunch, guys. I don't. See, not that much came off, but I don't want a bunch on there. So after I do that, it's a little tacky, not bad, but it's not rolling as smooth as it used to, right? So I'm gonna take my flow juice and I'll put a couple drops in here, right on that gear, and then work it around. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna kind of break down the grease a little bit and make it not so tacky. This is a very tacky grease. So now, see how it's spinning a lot better? They're greased. There's still grease on there, but it's not as tacky because the oil broke down the grease. Now we go, like buttery smooth. Nice. So you can do that with flow juice. You can do that with WD-40 if you'd like. Throw the spoon away. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna throw that. Nope. Sorry, guys. We're gonna do that to the front also. Like I said, you can WD-40. I think would work. Anything that has like that greasy or something that'll like break down grease. You don't want something like acetone that's gonna actually like ruin the grease type stuff. But all right, let's run that around a little bit. Very tacky. Put my finger on there, push it over towards the crown gear. Almost nothing. Now let's take a couple drops. So this is usually what I was doing, but I was holding up my hands. I should have just put it down. Give it a couple drops, and this, as you can see, it just barely drops out. That's what I'm doing, as I'm not squeezing it or nothing. And now look at it, it's just so smooth, no noise. So smooth, guys. Clean off that diff. Because I only want it on the crown gear. Do you know why? This in the gear, I wonder if you can see that. See that gear in there? So you can see the gear right here. You don't want it to start gobbing up on here and then that stuff get tacky, and then every time it goes around it hits that gear. Clean it off. That way you have nothing coming in the way of that gear. It's only on the crown gear. And you don't have to flood your diffs, guys, with tons of grease. There was a long while where I was running no grease at all. None. Even today, I can run them with no grease. I can clean them off and they'd still be just fine. The only thing is you'll get that chatter. It'll be loud and you'll get that chatter and it'll sound unhealthy. But you can run it without. So there's the front all done. There's the rear all done. Like I said, today is Wednesday, January 14th. I'm going to try to have this thing done by Saturday so I can go out and run it. Have the Grom done. I got my Mugen MRX 4, my Vortex, and the Slash 4x4, the XL1. And I think that's it. I'm actually building something kind of cool. I forgot I had this. I had this thing for almost 3 years. Saga Custom RC for the OFNA GTP2E. Brand new car. I gotta show it to you guys real quick. Grab it off the shelf here. Oh, geez. It's way up there. So this car is literally brand new. Look at. I used to want to collect all the old school OFNAs and stuff like that, but still got the giant gear in there, no spool. It hasn't been messed with at all. It's got the old school sweep super soft tires, but as you can see, that's not a scratch. That's tape or foam from the stands that I have it, but that chassis will go to this, and then I'm gonna sell the car. I'm gonna put it on there and I'll sell this car because I'm not into collecting them no more. I'm really not. And when I was running the OFNA GTP2E drag racing in California, I was putting the hurting on people. That 13.43 gear on that thing, they're huge. They're almost like mod 1.5 gears. They're super tough. They're huge and work. So, all right, guys. Tomorrow we'll slap this thing on the chassis. We'll put the motors on there. Get these motors on there. I'm probably going to scratch it again. We'll get that top brace on there. We'll put that front on there. You know, if I don't get a lot of views, I might just do it myself. It's kind of a pain to build it like this. Like, I would have had it done already. Let's see. This will go on there just like that. Oh, yeah. Butter, baby. Ah, yeah. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? And then we'll have to put the bumper back on. No weights, see? No nothing in here. I don't run weights on my cars. And we'll put the front body post on there. See, these are supposed to go on the back. But that sits it too high, so I've never used them. Never once used them because they just sit too high. No one wants their body way up here. So you want your body to slide down as low as possible. So we'll put these on the front here, and we'll slap some XLX2s on here, like so. That way we could just hardwire straight in. We don't have to make any extensions. We'll put our Power Hobby servo on there. Done. Up, and the receiver, and the rear piece, and the center piece, and the dog bones, and the spool. So I ended up going with my own spool, guys. The reason is I like the way I make mine, and I trust it. So that's what I'm going to use. I decided to use mine, but the one that I got these for and that other spool for was for a drag build that I'm doing, and I told him that I'd get him another spool if I ended up using it, but I'll just use my own. I'm very happy with it. I think it'll work no problem. So what did I tell you the gears were here? 32, right? 33 spool. So we're going to run a 32, 33. 33 is going to be our spur gear. 32 is going to be our pinion. Good batteries, good weather, 180s. No problem. Maybe more than that. We'll see. I've never ran dual motor like this before. So thank you guys. God bless. Stay blessed. Sorry for the super long video. This is my first time really doing a build like this, but stay blessed. Bye, gentlemen.